Hey everybody, we have finally reached spring, and we have finally reached spring haircut. So, we are brewing a very simple beer today. One malt, one hop. Malt is Barca Pills, 10 pounds. Hop is going to be something I got at HomebrewCon, and I've just been waiting to have a reason to use it. I have 1 ounce of New Zealand Pacific Gem. It sounds like it's kind of a unique hop. Unique up on it. And anyway, I thought it would be a nice time to use it. But the showcase today for me is going to be, what will the Imperial Yeast house strain do? Now, Imperial Yeast, now in these smart looking packs as opposed to the cans, have been sort of a accidental sponsor of this channel. I've gotten some of their yeast through Chop and Brew sources. I've used it a number of times. This will be the 3rd strain that I've used. The first time I've had a pouch. I've had a couple of their cans to this point. Now, unbeknownst to me, I sort of assumed this was a American Ale type strain, and I just went and did a little research, and I found out it is equivalent of the Yeast 1098 British strain or the White Lab 007 Dry English Ale, and the source for all of these is said to be Whitbread, which is a very well-known English brewery. I actually don't know if it is still going, but at one point it was one of the big 6 British breweries, so it was very significant to the industry in that part of the world. I am normally not a big fan of English yeast, I'm not going to lie. I like the American Ale yeast for most of the beers that I make, unless I'm doing a beer that wants another type of a certain flavor, a Saison, Hefeweizen, wit beer, what have you. So, I think it'll be really interesting to see how does this yeast come across in a beer that's very straightforward, hopefully somewhere close to 1050, 1 hop. We might get a little unique hop character, but otherwise there's not a lot of malt complexity, just a really nice Pils malt. So, I just mashed, got doughed in, got the mash. We're about 149, so a little bit on the low side, so it'll attenuate out well. It says attenuation 73 to 75%, temp 62 to 70, so it actually is still a little bit on the cool side, which will work well for late spring in my basement. I should be able to keep it in the mid to lower 60s. Probably don't need to do a lot of brew day clips, but want to do an intro clip. Of course, we will do a tasting when it's all done, and we'll see if we throw in any other clips, so stay tuned. Stumbled into the Thai funk wormhole. Anyway, everything's gone great. I got 5 gallons. You can see right under the little plastic indicator there, or just under, or right about at. Also, it came in, I don't think you'll be able to see, but right at 1050. So for my process, 10 pounds will usually get me a 5 gallons of 1050. I mean, if it's a good yielding grain. Another thing I did not do, as you can see, I still have the package intact. I did not make a yeast starter. I was reading online. I don't think it's, or does it even say right here? No, it was online. It was saying that one of these is supposed to be good for 5 gallons of up to 1070. Word, just a pitch, and I knew I was only going to be at around 1050, which is exactly what I came in at. And I thought, you know what, let me save myself a little bit of hassle, and also just see how it goes, see if I do have a shorter lag time. So all I'm going to do now is, as it says, to make sure everything is in, I don't know if you can see it, you can kind of see like some chunks in this crown. Is kind of a see-through part. To make sure everything is unstuck in the package, I'll sanitize the top of it, comme ça, and probably sanitize the scissors, and I'm not going to film it, but we're going to put it in the wort, and we're going to put it in the 59, 58 degree room, and we'll see what happens.
Those were always so good.
Yes. Okay, we are in Chop and Brew headquarter backyard. We're going to try the, what do I call it, house blonde. which has now been in the keg for, I will have to get back to you. I know that it's had gelatin for a week, and as you can see, the gelatin worked. But that will be covered in more detail in another video, so stay tuned for that. And now we'll give it a try. Heyo! So we're drinking this beer. Now, he said a very interesting observation before I said anything about the manufacturer description of the hop. You said hay and grassy?
I said a little bit of lemon. Lemon peel.
And hay. So what they say about the New Zealand hop is it will produce oaken flavors with a distinct blackberry aroma. That's a stretch for me personally.
Oaken. I have never heard that as an adjective.
You haven't?
Does that mean of oak quality?
Sure does.
Oak-like? I like it.
Citrus and pine aroma notes also, and aromas and flavors of dry wood and forest fruit. So I am picking up on the pininess. I think there is a bitterness in the beer that I wouldn't expect from the Barca Pils, that I wouldn't necessarily expect from the yeast, which, as I mentioned earlier, is derived from a Whitbread brewery. Y Yeast 1098 British Ale is also the same. I fermented it at 62 degrees. The range of temperature on the yeast is 62 to 70 F, which is, 62 is right on that low end. So I was suppressing any extra amount of flavor from the yeast. It has gotten very clear with the gelatin, which is nice. I think, sometimes you drink with your eyes. A beer like this, I would like to be clear. A regular kind of pale ale, maybe so, maybe not. Certainly wheat beers, things like that.
Maybe so, maybe not. I don't like the hazy beers I got. Maybe so. All right, sorry.
That's right.
Fish shut up.
Catch fish on the tour this summer. So, I guess one of the points of the experiment was to test the yeast strain, which I sort of negated by fermenting it so cold.
This is how this started, was an experiment?
Kind of.
But what were you trying to do? Since it wasn't a two-part experiment, you just wanted to see what
I kind of thought that, I honestly, when I was going into it, I thought that it was going to be maybe an alternative to one of my other favorite strains, which is just 1056, Y Yeast Ale, American Ale. And it ended up being English derivative, which kind of threw me for a loop. But I guess another part of it is just, can you just take an unknown hop or an unused, untested hop? For me personally, your good base malt, your unknown yeast, and can you get a nice beer out of it? And in this case, I would say, yes, I like this.
You sure can. Yeah, I like it. Dry wood, I get it. I mean, that's kind of that hay is what, it's just not green, earthy. It's like a dried thing, and that's kind of a cool thing to get from a hop instead of actual wood or a really too earthy malt, potentially.
Yeah.
It's a great summer beer.
Yeah, and the New Zealand hop, if I think about it, think back to my New Zealand IPA, there were a lot of different flavors in those hops. A lot of kind of woody and lemongrassy and piney and different kind of citrus. There was a lot of different kind of flavors, and when I put 2 or 3 of them together, it made a really interesting IPA. And if I kind of think back to that and I drink it and I think about this as a New Zealand hop, I can see where it fits into that category, that genre, that, if you will, ballpark.
It's Beagle approved.
It's Beagle approved.
Actually, it's not, because he never drinks beer. He's like,
It's like devil's juice. All right, well, thanks for having me over and drinking my beer.
Yeah, man.
Let's do it again.
Thanks for bringing it.
All right.
Don for Don.
O for O. Catch you later. He just wants you to drink good beer.
He just wants you to drink.